BTS, also known as Bangtan Sonyeondan or Beyond the Scene, is one of the most recognized and influential music groups in the world. Since their debut under Big Hit Entertainment in 2013, the group has not only become a cornerstone of the Korean wave, Hallyu, but has also managed to establish itself as a global cultural force. With millions of fans, known as ARMY, across continents, BTS has redefined the meaning of international fandom, cross-cultural appeal, and the business of modern pop music. To understand the circumstances surrounding Jungkook's tears after Taehyung's confession about Los Angeles and HYBE, it is crucial to examine the broader background that links the group's evolution, HYBE's corporate strategies, and the role Los Angeles has played in BTS's career trajectory. The center of BTS's journey is HYBE Corporation, formerly known as Big Hit Entertainment. HYBE is more than a management company. It is a music conglomerate that has expanded aggressively into various aspects of the entertainment business. From artist management to music distribution, from fan platforms like Weverse to partnerships with American entertainment giants, HYBE has positioned itself as a leader in bridging East Asian music with global audiences. Within this framework, BTS has served as both the foundation and the primary driver of HYBE's rapid expansion. Los Angeles, LA, emerges as a symbolic and practical location within this narrative. LA is often regarded as the epicenter of global entertainment, housing major record labels, media networks, and influential cultural industries. For BTS, LA has not only been the location of numerous concerts and promotional events, but also a city where the group has worked on music production, collaborations with Western artists, and appearances in American media. Over the years, LA has come to represent a bridge between BTS's Korean identity and their global ambitions. Jungkook, the youngest member of BTS, has frequently been highlighted for his adaptability, stage presence, and musical versatility. His journey reflects both the personal struggles of a young man growing under intense public scrutiny and the professional demands of being part of one of the world's most commercially successful music groups. His image has been carefully curated yet remains relatable, making him a focal point in any narrative involving BTS's internal dynamics. Taehyung, also known as V, is another integral member whose artistic personality and charisma have played a significant role in shaping the group's image. Taehyung has often been perceived as a creative soul who balances the pressures of global stardom with a strong sense of individuality. His artistic pursuits in acting, photography, and fashion have amplified his influence beyond music. It is within this context that any confession he makes, particularly one involving LA and HYBE, carries significant weight, both symbolically and practically. The connection between Taehyung's confession, HYBE's role as a corporate powerhouse, and Jungkook's emotional response is not straightforward. Instead, it can be understood through layers of history, context, and interpretation. The fact that Jungkook reportedly cried following Taehyung's admission suggests that the issue at hand transcends a simple personal matter. It intertwines with professional responsibilities, corporate expectations, and the symbolic significance of LA as a global stage. Historically, LA has served as a testing ground for K-pop's global expansion. For BTS, their concerts at venues such as the Rose Bowl and SoFi Stadium marked milestones in their journey toward becoming international superstars. Furthermore, many of their collaborations with Western artists, ranging from Steve Aoki to Halsey, were facilitated through connections in the U.S. entertainment capital. This makes any revelation tied to LA more than a geographical reference. It is a statement about identity, ambition, and global positioning. HYBE's influence in this matter cannot be overstated. As a corporation that has balanced artistry with aggressive business expansion, HYBE represents both the opportunities and pressures that BTS members face. While HYBE has provided the infrastructure, resources, and platforms necessary for BTS's global success, it has also created an environment where every action, statement, or confession by the members carries corporate implications. The alignment between personal desires and corporate expectations is not always seamless, which often gives rise to tensions that may not be publicly visible but can manifest in moments of vulnerability, such as Jungkook's tears. To understand the significance of Jungkook's reaction to Taehyung's confession about Los Angeles and HYBE, it is necessary to take a closer look at his role within BTS and the challenges he has faced in recent years. Jungkook, born in 1997 in Busan, South Korea, entered the entertainment industry at a very young age. He became a trainee at Big Hit Entertainment in his early teens, and by the time he debuted with BTS in 2013, he was only 15 years old. This early start shaped not only his career but also his personal development, as much of his youth was spent under the scrutiny of both his agency and the public eye. From the beginning, Jungkook was positioned as the group's golden magne, a title that emphasized his exceptional range of talents. As the youngest member, he was expected to embody energy, versatility, and growth potential. His responsibilities in BTS included serving as the main vocalist, contributing to choreography, and often taking center stage during performances. Over time, he also developed skills in songwriting, production, and directing, proving that his role was not limited to performance, but extended into creative contributions behind the scenes. This versatility became one of Jungkook's defining features, but it also carried with it significant pressures. As expectations from fans, HYBE, and the broader industry grew, Jungkook was frequently tasked with living up to the title of Golden Magne. Every appearance, performance, and personal choice was subject to intense scrutiny. In many ways, his public persona became an emblem of youthful perfection, but maintaining that image was not without difficulties in recent years. BTS as a group and Jungkook as an individual have encountered transitions that tested these dynamics. The onset of the COVID-19 pandemic disrupted their global tours, forcing the group to adapt by focusing on digital platforms and virtual concerts. For Jungkook, this shift highlighted his role as both a performer and a digital presence. His solo live streams, covers, and creative projects became key ways to connect with fans. However, the increased visibility also magnified his vulnerabilities, as even the smallest moments were dissected and circulated online. Additionally, the group's military enlistment schedule created further changes. While some members temporarily paused activities for their service, others, including Jungkook, had to navigate shifting group dynamics and individual pursuits. These transitions often spark discussions among fans and analysts about BTS's future, as well as Jungkook's trajectory as both an individual artist and a member of the ensemble. Balancing these uncertainties while maintaining his professional commitments became a challenge that shaped his recent experiences. Another significant aspect of Jungkook's journey is his relationship with HYBE as a corporate entity. While the company provided him with opportunities for global exposure and resources to expand his artistry, it also established frameworks of control and expectation. Jungkook's choices, from his musical releases to his personal appearances, were often seen through the lens of HYBE's larger strategy. This dynamic illustrates the tension between personal expression and corporate branding that many idols experience, but few openly address. Los Angeles played a recurring role in this balance. Jungkook has often been associated with LA due to BTS's repeated visits to the city for concerts, recording sessions, and collaborations. For Jungkook, LA became both a place of opportunity and exposure. It was in LA that he connected with Western producers, engaged with international media, and experienced a version of fame that transcended cultural barriers. At the same time, LA represented a space where HYBE's global ambitions intersected with Jungkook's personal identity as an artist. His experiences there embodied the duality of freedom and pressure that has characterized much of his career. Against this backdrop, any confession from Taehyung about LA and HYBE would inevitably resonate deeply with Jungkook. His tears, in this context, may not simply represent a reaction to a single moment, but rather an accumulation of pressures, reflections, and challenges he has faced throughout his journey. To understand this, one must recognize how Jungkook's identity has been shaped not only by his personal aspirations, but also by the structures around him. In addition to professional challenges, Jungkook has also confronted the complexities of growing up in the public eye. The combination of these factors, youthful pressures, professional demands, corporate oversight, cultural representation, and personal identity, frames Jungkook's recent challenges. His role in BTS is not merely that of a singer or dancer, but that of a symbol. This symbolic role comes with opportunities for influence, but also with burdens that can be difficult to articulate. When Taehyung made his confession about LA and HYBE, Jungkook's response was filtered through years of carrying these symbolic and practical responsibilities to Taehyung. Jungkook's role within BTS is complex and multifaceted. He is at once the group's youngest member and one of its most central figures. His challenges reflect the broader dynamics of being an idol in a globalized entertainment industry, where personal expression is constantly negotiated with corporate strategies and public expectations. Understanding these dimensions is essential for interpreting why Taehyung's words had such a powerful impact on him and why his tears carried significance beyond a single moment. While Jungkook has often been positioned as the versatile golden magne of BTS, Taehyung, known by his stage name V, has carved out a role that is equally distinctive but defined by different qualities. Born in 1995 in Daegu, South Korea, Taehyung entered Big Hit Entertainment in his teenage years and debuted as a BTS member in 2013. Over the years, he has grown into a multifaceted artist whose career trajectory reflects both conformity to and divergence from the typical idol framework. Understanding his career path and his relationship with HYBE is essential in contextualizing his confession about Los Angeles and the company, as well as Jungkook's emotional response to it. From the outset, Taehyung's presence in BTS was characterized by his deep baritone voice and his ability to bring a unique color to the group's music. Unlike some idols whose roles are confined to a specific domain, such as main vocalist, rapper, or dancer, Taehyung's artistry has always extended beyond technical assignments. His vocal tone, often described as soulful and distinct, became a defining feature of BTS's musical identity. Tracks like Stigma, Singularity, and Inner Child showcased his capacity for emotive delivery, marking him as an artist with depth and individuality. Beyond his vocal contributions, Taehyung developed a reputation for his creativity in other domains. His interest in photography, fashion, and visual arts positioned him as an aesthetic voice within the group. Through his curated posts on social media and his participation in visual projects, he extended his identity beyond music to embody a broader artistic persona. This versatility earned him recognition not only among fans but also within industry circles, where he was frequently cited as one of the most stylish and visually influential members of BTS. However, Taehyung's individuality has occasionally created tensions within the framework of HYBE's management. HYBE, as a corporation, thrives on structured branding and market strategies that ensure consistency and reliability in global markets. While Taehyung undoubtedly benefited from this structure, receiving opportunities for exposure, international performances, and media partnerships, he also sought avenues for personal expression that did not always align neatly with corporate priorities. His interest in acting, for example, led him to a role in the historical drama Warang in 2016, a step that both highlighted his potential as an actor and sparked debates about balancing group and solo activities. Los Angeles has been an important setting in Taehyung's artistic journey. The city's reputation as a cultural hub provided him with inspiration and opportunities to connect with international creative communities. His exposure to Western music, fashion, and art deepened his sense of individuality and expanded his creative outlook. LA also functioned as a symbolic backdrop where Taehyung's personal ambitions intersected with BTS's corporate goals. For HYBE, LA represented a key gateway to the Western market. For Taehyung, it represented a space for exploration and growth. In terms of his relationship with HYBE, Taehyung's career path demonstrates both alignment and divergence. On one hand, he has been one of HYBE's most marketable assets, frequently highlighted in promotional campaigns and endorsements. His charisma and visual appeal made him a natural fit for global brands, thereby reinforcing HYBE's strategy of positioning BTS members as not only musicians but also lifestyle icons. On the other hand, his individualistic tendencies often tested the limits of corporate branding. While Jungkook's image was often framed around versatility and reliability, Taehyung's identity leaned toward unpredictability and artistic exploration. This balance between individuality and corporate alignment became more visible as BTS transitioned into a new phase of their career. With some members fulfilling military duties and others pursuing solo projects, HYBE had to navigate the challenge of maintaining BTS's collective identity while supporting individual expressions. For Taehyung, this period allowed him to pursue solo music projects, release photography, and further explore fashion collaborations. Yet, every personal step was still tied back to HYBE's overall branding and market considerations. It is in this context that Taehyung's confession about LA and HYBE becomes particularly significant. As an artist who has long balanced personal expression with corporate structure, his words carry implications about both his experiences and his perspective on the systems that govern them. When he speaks about LA, it is not merely a reference to geography, but a reflection of his encounters with freedom, creativity, and international exposure. When he speaks about HYBE, it involves acknowledging both the opportunities provided and the constraints imposed by a corporate framework. Jungkook's reaction to Taehyung's confession can be partly understood through this lens. Jungkook and Taehyung have often been portrayed as complementary opposites within BTS. Jungkook embodying discipline, adaptability, and responsibility, and Taehyung embodying artistry, individuality, and exploration. When Taehyung articulated his perspective on LA and HYBE, it may have resonated with Jungkook as a reflection of the challenges they both face, albeit approached from different angles. For Jungkook, who carries the burden of being the golden magne, Taehyung's confession might have echoed unspoken concerns and highlighted tensions that Jungkook himself feels, but rarely expresses. Fan and media interpretations of Taehyung's relationship with HYBE often oscillate between admiration for his individuality and speculation about his alignment with corporate strategies. Some observers highlight his ability to balance personal expression with group commitments as evidence of maturity and resilience. Others interpret his occasional candid remarks as hints of dissatisfaction or dissonance with the structures around him. Regardless of the interpretation, it is clear that Taehyung occupies a unique position where his personal voice carries disproportionate weight, not only within BTS but also in the broader discourse about idols and agency relationships. As HYBE continues to expand its global reach, Taehyung's role becomes even more complex. On one hand, his individuality strengthens the group's appeal by demonstrating diversity within unity. On the other hand, it challenges HYBE to accommodate creative expressions that may not always align with corporate branding. This duality reflects the evolving nature of idol